Building Greenwich CT.com.
Hello, everyone. I'm Scott Elwell here with my co-host Lindsay Potter. We are Building Greenwich.
Good morning, Greenwich.
And in an attempt to give you guys something actually valuable, we want to talk about 4th of July, and which led right to Donald Mohr, Mr. Firework.
Mr. Firework himself, the Donald Mohr, M-O-H-R, shares a last name with our friend Kate over here. Welcome, Don.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Good morning.
We're so happy to have you here this morning. So now tell us, Don, technically your title is the Recreation Supervisor for the Town of Greenwich.
Well,
correct?
I'm one of several recreation supervisors.
Okay.
There's more than one with the same title.
It's a big job.
Yes, I think so.
Yes.
We all have a big.
But you're Mr. Firework.
I do the fireworks.
Yes. Okay.
But you also take part in the Summer Concert Series, right?
Yes.
Okay.
The fun stuff.
So what we really want to talk about the fireworks first because it's up and coming. So Saturday, July 6th is the day. Rain date of the 7th, but we will try not to talk about that. We'll just hope that the sun is with us on Saturday, July 6th for the Town of Greenwich fireworks, which take place at Todd's Point, Greenwich Point Park, and at Binney Park.
Right.
So there are two separate shows, though, right?
Yes, there are two separate shows, and they don't run exactly simultaneously. The Binney Park show will begin at dusk, which is approximately 10 after 9.
Okay.
Okay. When the Binney Park show is done, I will get a phone call at Greenwich Point, and we will get ready to start the Greenwich Point show. We'll have a few introductions, a couple of remarks, and the national anthem, and then we go with the Greenwich Point show.
Oh, that's nice. So where do they do the remarks and the national anthem?
Well, just down by the South Concession, we'll have a DJ there entertaining people.
What?
And I'll give a few thank yous.
I didn't know
So the
that.
South Concession, for everybody, we're talking about Todd's Point.
South side is for Greenwich Point.
Second concession
The
stand?
second concession or South Concession, probably the bigger of the two.
Yes.
Okay, physically. But we're down by the big flagpole and right toward that area because we shoot the fireworks at Greenwich Point from what's called the Bluff area, which is down at the corner. If you keep walking past the concession stand, you hit that corner area.
Where the
That's where we're
Adirondack
shooting.
chairs are, where the rock is?
Other side,
The rock is up the hill.
Okay. Other
But
side.
you're right, and obviously, when the day of the fireworks comes, you won't be able to walk in the shooting area anytime during the day, so you may have to detour if you're taking a walk up toward the rock
Okay.
and around the shooting area that way. But you get a beautiful view anywhere in Greenwich Point Park
That is true.
with that.
That is true.
But
Okay, so you
what we're-
cannot walk there.
You can't walk through the shooting area.
Right.
It'll be fenced off, and there will be a couple of security people to assist us.
Great.
So
important.
the shooting area, when you walk, if you're doing the loop, that's right past the gates or the two stone pillars on your right.
If you're driving on the causeway, you go by the two stone pillars, you're heading up to the main end of the point.
Correct.
We're closer to the beach.
Yeah. Okay.
We're closer to the main beach. So most of the people, and you can see the fireworks probably anywhere on the point, but
Right.
if you're coming in on the causeway past the gatehouse, you might want to park in the lot on the right or the big lots on the left and head out to the beach area, and you'll be able to get a seat. A lot of people like to picnic in the south picnic area by that concession stand. That's another place where you're going to get a great view because you kind of have a hill to get up a little bit more.
And for the experts like yourself and those that have been in Greenwich forever that don't live in the down by that point, what is the ideal parking spot and strategy?
Walk.
I don't know. Well, Greenwich,
Or do you walk?
Walkers are welcome at Greenwich Point too. We can get into that a little bit, but we do have room for well over 1,000 cars. I don't know the exact number, but well over 1,000 cars. We do suggest carpooling. We do suggest that everybody bring a good working flashlight. This is going to be nighttime. And what you can do is really park anywhere that you're comfortable with. There's only one way out of Greenwich Point. When the show is over, it's going to take a while to exit all those vehicles.
Now, can you park on Sound Beach and just walk down, or do you? You can park by
any place that is currently posted no parking is obviously still valid, and the police will will assign no parking areas to some of the side roads, not only for safety and crowd control, but to try to get everybody out of there too at the end.
Fair enough.
Right. I can imagine that with thousands of people coming to watch the fireworks, that it takes a bit, but everyone is prepared for that. I think it's the same anywhere you go to watch the fireworks.
Yeah, some have more patience than others.
That is
Okay.
true.
Now, is this the only time of the year you can be at Todd's Point after the sun's down?
Pretty much, yes. There's maybe a couple of other events that happen, which may or may not be public events.
Yeah. Okay.
But this is one time to do that. We do bring in some portable light towers in various locations, but Greenwich Point is not really set for nighttime activity, so lighting is going to be very, very limited no matter how we do it. Bring a flashlight.
Right. Or a headlamp. So how many people are working behind the scenes to make sure that this goes off without a hitch?
Well, first of all, we're very fortunate to have the support of the Greenwich Police Department
Yes.
at both locations, because there's parking is limited in some ways. Yeah, if you live near Binney Park, by all means, walk over there. There are some lots that are nearby. Some people might park at even Riverside or Eastern Middle School and walk down to Binney
Okay.
Park.
At the church?
There's the church, a couple of churches there that they have maybe small parking lots, but you also have whatever's available in the Eastern Greenwich Civic Center parking lot. The center's under construction still, but the parking lot would be available. And, of course, you got the commuter parking lot.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So there are a lot of
So
options
there's
near Binney.
opportunities, but there's going to be some walking involved. And if you live nearby, just as easy to leave the car at home and have
Yes.
a brisk walk if you're able to do it. There's
I think that's the best part about
Plenty.
living in Old Greenwich, that you can walk,
walk to
to
the
so
beach.
many places.
yeah. Well, Costco's like that too. Sometimes.
Yeah,
But
it is.
it's very much it's gonna be a busy night. There'll be a lot of people there. We have again the same thing. We've got a shooting area at Binney Park, down by the ball fields, not too far away from the railroad tracks, but far enough away because there's all kinds of regulations that we have to meet. So what happens is we'll have fenced off areas all day long, some security people out there, and the little field house with the bathrooms will not be open because it is too close to the shooting area.
Good to know.
There will be many portable facilities there, but the main bathrooms will now be closed for the entire day. Some of the construction in the area of Binney Park has forced us to make slight adjustments in the shooting area, and we have to have a certain amount of distance from the shooting area to any place where the public can be
Right.
for safety reasons. That's based upon the size of the shell that we shoot. So Binney Park, we shoot smaller shells, but we shoot more of them. So it's still a beautiful display. Maybe a little different because Greenwich Point Park will have bigger shells because we have more room.
Right.
Now, where are you placed that evening?
I'll be at Greenwich Point.
Yeah.
Bigger shells,
Bigger shells? Okay.
bigger
And
fireworks.
how long have you been doing this?
I've been handling the fireworks for probably a little bit over about 30 years.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
We appreciate
Seriously,
that.
it's
Really, I mean, it's
such
part of
a
it's
treat.
one of the fun things, you know. But it's a challenge. But now we've been doing Greenwich Point Park since 2006.
Wow.
Oh, really?
Before that, fireworks were shot at Binney Park and at Greenwich High School. The reason we made the move, and it's been a good move, we had some reluctance because there are some logistical problems. There are concerns about the darkness and all that. But when Greenwich High School started going with all of these artificial turf fields, shooting fireworks just didn't work because the debris, even over the area that the public's not in, would not be good for that. And also the turf themselves,
It would be ruined.
less patient than grass in terms of all these people sitting on chairs.
True.
We just had to do it.
True.
Well, and you know, adding the point, because we were out yesterday or a couple days ago doing videos on the water, you get a ton of boats. I mean, I've been watching the fireworks
That's
from
a great thing. And,
the Long Island Sound side.
I'll tell you what, it's a beautiful sight to be at Greenwich Point, no matter where you are, to see all those boats and how they're lit up
Yeah.
It really is.
on there, because it really looks like something that you would see out of a beautiful, most beautiful painting you could find. You get a really picturesque.
That's a great point. And what we were noticing and talking about from the water the other day is that you can moor or anchor your boat. You can anchor on the beach side of Greenwich Point Park to watch the show, or in the inlet that is like where the old Greenwich Yacht Club,
Yes,
the Chimes building.
You can. There are obviously some restrictions. There's some buoyed off areas there, and of course that plus the fact that some areas of Greenwich Point near the bluff area and the water have big rocks all over.
Yeah, I'm curious how many boats get.
But that keeps people a safe distance away, so it's a really good thing.
Right. So smart boating that night, please. No drinking and boating.
And of course, again, the police department will have some of their boats and officers out there patrolling that area to make sure. The police contribute a lot. The fire department contributes a lot because each show has a deputy fire marshal overseeing the shooting, okay, so to speak. And
so is that OG Fire and Greenwich, or just Old Greenwich?
It's Greenwich Fire Department. We have 2 shows to cover, so they'll have pumper trucks from whatever location they have, but they'll have various paid and volunteer firefighters doing various jobs. Mm-hmm. Okay, and again, there'll be a deputy fire marshal at each location. GEMS is a very key part of this.
Okay.
Greenwich Emergency Medical Services at both locations will have an ambulance on location. They'll also have some additional staffing there at Greenwich Point during the day. They will probably have some paramedics on bikes because it's a heavy day for just regular injuries. It's a busy beach day to begin with.
It's a busy beach day.
As long as the weather's nice.
Right. Well, Old Greenwich is always busy in the summer because we have Greenwich Point Park.
And they will have their help, and they will have again a full staff and contingent there. And they have a plan if there's any kind of an emergency to deal that's a serious emergency. They've got some backup plans to make sure that we can get people off Greenwich Point
by boat, potentially,
quickly if that were to happen.
Yeah, you've got.
Thought out.
Hey,
Because I'll tell you what, the traffic control, the traffic, you're one way in, one way out.
Right.
If you're a vehicle, we set up with the aid of the Public Works Department we create a walking bike lane in addition, so it becomes a situation where even though it's not dark yet, at 8:30 the point will be closed to vehicular traffic, and they will set up barricades so that when the people are able to leave after the show, there'll be a little lane for walkers and bikers. We don't really encourage bikers at that hour night, but we do have a lot of walkers, and one lane for vehicles to
smart,
get
so
out
that
as
it's
quickly
a
as we
safe
can.
exit for walkers.
And they will, to make it safe for them, but also to try to control things. And there'll be police all through Shore Road, Sound Beach Avenue to help get people out as quickly and as safely as possible. What is also going to happen is why we shoot the shows back to back and not at the same time. So Greenwich Point's very dark while Binney's being shot and the DJ is there, but you have to wait. Is because if we shot them at the same time, we would have a traffic nightmare because people would be trying to leave the Binney Park
and
area.
come to the
and the
beach.
people from Greenwich Point would have no place to go when
Right.
they got
So they
out
get
of the
stuck behind the Binney Park.
Right.
There would be just a log jam. So that's
Smart.
why we do it.
So Binney Park again goes off at 9:10. The show starts at 9:10. How long? What's the duration of the show? 20 minutes.
About 20 minutes.
Okay, and then the beach will start at around 9:30, 9:40.
9:30, 9:35, and depending upon if for any reason we have a slight delay at Binney Park, it's still going to be Binney Park first, Greenwich Point second, and because of where we put the traffic.
Right. And then when does the DJ start at the second concession
About
stand?
7 o'clock.
Oh, fun.
Yeah.
So it's like a fun party down
and
there.
it's, we'll have somebody probably singing the national anthem. We'll have a little bit of entertainment there, but that's essential because as it starts getting dark, you want to keep people somewhat occupied.
Right.
Okay, and they'll, the lighting is very limited, but people will be up and dancing in the area. Again, the DJ will be located on the beach, but near the south concession, near that fence that we have down there. So you got a nice little backdrop.
Yeah.
Okay, and swimming will be prohibited once it becomes sunset.
Okay.
But they will let people, we'll have a few extra lifeguards just so people will be able to swim early evening, where the lifeguards often go off duty at 6. We'll have a few people there so that we can provide some fun there. But once sunset hits, everyone out of the water, and the lifeguards will be patrolling the area, making sure that
Lock it up.
Now, can I just jump into something more fun?
yeah.
More MOHR? Sorry, I had to.
That's really bad. More exciting fun than all this other stuff. Where do the fireworks come from and how big they are? Like, can you talk about the fireworks themselves?
Well, we have a contractor this year. Starfire Corporation got it, but it's done by competitive bid.
Okay.
Every so many years we have to do it as a bid. So they're new this year as a contractor, but we've already had a meeting with their representatives, some of the key people who will shoot the fire marshals at both locations to go over the areas that we're going to use and any logistics and any questions that they may have with something that's new. It is done by competitive bid. And I'll tell you what, if you want to know the cost, it's around $30,000 for the two shows, which is not bad. The shells at Binney Park, as I mentioned, will be a little smaller than Greenwich Point Park.
How big are these things? I mean,
Well, the diameter, the biggest we can shoot at Binney Park is 4 inches, based upon the space that we have to stay within the state-required safety mandates for spacing, distances. But we'll have more of them, and there'll be you'll see a little more of a special effect to it, so to speak. You might see a little more tails, a little different that way.
But the big guys are going on Todd's Point?
Well, we still have smaller shells. We also can have bigger shells there, so we go up to 8 inches at Greenwich Point.
Whoa.
Awesome.
There's not that many 8-inch shells, and they're, of course, expensive. We spend fairly close to the same amount on both shows, but it's just what we can put in the air.
Fair enough.
And then how do you gauge, let's say it's really windy, and you've got these 8-inch shells at the park, and they're going off, and how do you regulate where the shrapnel lands?
Well, generally,
Shrapnel.
that's why we have.
It is there.
That's why we have those distances.
Right.
It's not impossible if something could go beyond that area, so to speak. We don't make guarantees, and people usually don't sit too close to the spectator fence. You don't get necessarily a better view there.
Right. Okay, that's good to know.
But we do allow, and at Greenwich Point we have more space than is required, so it's easier. Binney Park, we made some adjustments this year. The spectator area will be just a little smaller, so that we can meet the requirements comfortably and make sure we're safe.
And do we recommend at Binney Park and at Greenwich Point Park, but for people to get there at what time to set up their picnic or their seating area? What's recommended? What's regular? I haven't been in years to either.
People are welcome, I guess, pretty much any time.
Right.
You want at Greenwich Point certainly come early at Greenwich Point, because at 8:30 you're not going to be able to get in.
Right. Right.
And if the parking lot's filled, you might not be able to get in.
Right.
Well, in the interview that we had the other day talking about the parking lot that I'm totally Larry was discussing, he was saying that there's only been like 1 or 2 years that they had to close it. I mean, like the Greenwich Point it has a ton of parking.
Yes, and normally we're okay with what we have to do, but you never know what's going to happen, and we want to encourage people.
No, I more meant like people going at the appropriate time most likely can get it.
Well, you can. Some people go spend the whole day at Greenwich Point.
Yeah. Some
people go and spend some time at Greenwich Point and leave at the end of the day because that's what they want to do.
Right. Beachgoers.
Some people will grab a picnic table up in that south picnic area, and just kind of stay the whole day, have lunch, have dinner.
So if you're walking by, the second concession stand is on your right, the beach is on your left, and you keep walking down that path, the entire hill on the right are picnic tables.
And it'll be full.
And it's a great place any other time of year also to go and have a picnic. There's a lot of shade, a lot of big trees back there. It's a beautiful part of the park.
People will be sitting on the beach, and I don't remember what the tide's going to be that day. Obviously, it helps if it's a little more low tide and there's more seating room. We've had days when it's been high tide.
It works.
And we fit everybody in.
It's a big beach. And it's a massive piece of property. So
it really is.
If you're up at the Clambake area, then you can see from up there. People have.
Well, on the other side of the park, at the point where you're looking at Manhattan, there are also so many picnic tables and
Yes.
areas to sit. I mean, there are so many options.
You can see it there. It's a big enough display where you can see it, and
But can people go to the other side to sit and watch? Because it is nighttime, and I know that Larry wants people out as soon as it's
well,
over.
obviously,
And
yeah,
the GPD and the Greenwich Fire and Jeff.
I've had that horn blasted at me.
we figure on overflow parking in the Clambake area parking lot. There's plenty of room there. We'll have some lighting there. We don't really, at the far end of the point, while people may be able to go there, you're not going to see extra lighting up there.
Okay.
So
Wear your headlamps.
Be smart, people. Okay, cool. Well, I can't wait for July 6th, and I feel safe knowing that between you and your team, Don, at the Greenwich Police Department, thank you to the Greenwich Fire Department and GEMS for all of the work that you all put into this massive event in our town to entertain all of us. It really is a special and fun day.
It is a team effort. Even DPW gets in from the highway because they help us with setting up barricades for.
Now, are you directly underneath, like in a full suit? Or like, where are you during the fireworks?
Safely outside the shooting area.
Oh, really? Okay. I didn't know if you're a part of. I mean, I don't. Yeah.
So the people that are taking care of all the fireworks is the Starfire brand, correct?
Yes, they provide shooters, which are licensed by the state of Connecticut. By the way, you have to have a certificate of competency, so to speak.
I'm sure.
And we were talking about this before we got on the air, but you were saying something about during COVID, a lot of people who had that certificate didn't renew. So we were low on.
That's true.
Fireworks.
And a lot of people may say, "Hey, gee, we had July 4th off. I like this." But when the shows started coming up after the pandemic, it was maybe tougher to get shooters, and a lot of these shooters will shoot several shows on the July 4th weekend.
Right. They're busy.
Yeah, they're staggered.
They'll shoot a show every day.
I mean, a lot of clubs have it on purposely on different nights.
Right.
And that's also to deal with enough people from the Fire Marshal Division to help cover what's going on in Greenwich.
Okay.
Several of the country clubs have their own display.
Right.
But with rain dates and everything else, that was when at the times when we had a date on the weekend, but the rain date couldn't be the same weekend because we couldn't staff it with shooters or even fire coverage. So
Well,
we
I
had
know
to make it up on Labor Day weekend a couple of years.
That's right. And I know that a number of the local country clubs do their fireworks display on that same night, this year in particular. And back to staffing and just how many people the fire department needs to provide and the GEMS needs to provide, the police department needs to provide. Do they hire from out of state, from out of town for that night?
You get the Canadians down that they're not celebrating the 4th of July.
I think most of the people that you see from the police are the local police officers. And don't forget, the Greenwich Police Department has a very capable array of, or contingent, maybe I should say, of special police officers.
They do.
Who
Thank you
maintain
for joining.
certification and assist. And in fact, part of their deal is they probably have to work some of those things to help out and provide for that. They have the Marine Police out there, as I've mentioned, and they may, if it's available, they may borrow a couple of officers and a boat from Stamford if they're not.
Right. Well, it's good to know that we have the resources locally. So, okay, moving on, because I do want to touch on the Summer Concert Series with you, Don, as well as I know that you've also been involved in some of the sports leagues around town. You've done some work with the Dorothy Hamill Skating Rink, field scheduling, and so many special events around town. Can you tell us a little bit about the Summer Concert Series? Oh, yes. This is a very fun thing that everyone is looking forward to. Every year we have eight part of it's 8 concerts on Wednesday evenings. We start off 2 weeks from yesterday, June 26th, with Bob Button. That's one that we have at Binney Park. We have the showmobile already there for the fireworks at Binney Park. Comes a little later. Then we take July 4th week off, and then July 10th through August 21st, 7 straight Wednesdays at Roger Sherman Baldwin Park. So fun. And every week it's kind of something different. This is a series. The genre is very different. And as I've said this to me, if you don't like what we have one night,
come the next week. 'Cause
Right.
it'll be,
Right. And is this free for people in town?
yes, it is.
How cool is that?
Excuse me. Yes,
yeah,
very,
you're good. That's why we got you water.
Yeah.
It's the allergies time of year.
I know.
I know. No, please.
Okay. So we have a little bit of everything. We'll have a 60s tribute night. We have a Billy Joel tribute, Gunsmoke, which is country western.
So
Future
fun.
Heavies do the 80s. Kings Highway 70s. The Billy and the Showmen. They've been around for 60 years.
What?
R&B, yeah. They started in junior high and middle school. And some of their members are in their 70s.
How cool is that?
Wait, 60 years?
Yeah. They celebrated the 60th anniversary.
Billy and the
last year.
Showman.
Go, Billy, go.
And
gonna have to-
Chasing Romeo.
I'll have to come home for that.
Will be with us on July 10th, and that's a very well. It used to be known as the Merlin Band, I think it was.
Oh yeah. Is Bob
they're-
Capazzo plays in that
I
band?
believe so. I believe
yeah.
he's still with it, but that's what
The
they
best
do is
photographer in our town.
they're very
Kate does a good job.
Outside of Kate.
he's one of those bands, either that one or Kings Highway, but they have a great following as well, and they do a great job. So there's quite a variety.
That's so fun.
Fantastic.
I can't wait. I've actually never been to one of the Wednesday concert series in the park. I'm typically in and out all summer because we go north, but I can't wait to go to one.
We'll delete that. We always are here. We don't leave. Love
Never
Greenwich.
leave.
That's it. Lindsay's never at a
that,
concert.
and we have a couple of part of the series. Also, is a couple of Dixie Jazz on the Sounds that we do on July 14th and 11th and August 11th.
So what is that? What is that like?
Well, that's at 4 o'clock. They leave the main ferry dock on the Island Beach boat down by South Arch Street. The band will play. It's a 5-piece band. They do a great job. It's basically the same guys all the time. They go out to the Island Beach on the ferry, play on the way out, play maybe about 50 minutes or so on the island, and then they catch the 5:30 boat to come back to the mainland, and they'll play on that.
What a perfect afternoon.
So that's a very popular thing, too.
And I know that the Island Beach concession stand just opened because
Yes.
Ableist runs that concession stand.
that's
We've had
fantastic.
Amy on
Yeah.
the podcast from Ableist.
That's wonderful.
And we love supporting them. So if you haven't been out on the ferry yet, it's such a fun thing to do in town. Take the ferry to Island Beach, and you can now see music on the Island Beach Ferry. That's Sunday, July 14th.
And Sunday, August 11th.
August 11th.
With the rain date being the following Sunday if we need to.
Okay, mark your calendars.
Yeah.
What is Dixieland again? Like what?
Well, it's Dixie Jazz.
Ragtime jazz.
Yeah, ragtime. Okay.
What do they play? What they play when the Saints go marching in. They'll play the Harlem Globetrotters theme. They have
It's like old school jazz.
yeah, it is
Yeah.
Well, I got the jazz
a
part
lot,
for
a lot of
Dixie.
stuff there. And the last thing is the Sound Beach Community Band plays a couple of community concerts on Sunday evenings at Binney Park, and those dates are going to be July 28th and August 25th.
Okay.
At 7 o'clock, and they kind of have a theme. The one night's going to be a salute to the Beatles, and another's going to be video game music, which is probably going to be very interesting.
Video game music.
amazing.
Okay, so we have those 2 nights
I got Mario Brothers in my head.
at Binney on the Showmobile stage, so it's all part of a big thing. And by the way, Sound Beach Community Band will be playing at the Binney Park Fireworks from 8 to about 9:10.
Perfect. So everyone, there's entertainment for you
Yeah.
all summer long, provided by the Town of Greenwich and supported by Don and his team at the Town of Greenwich. So you can go on to our town's website. So it's greenwichct.org.
Well, actually, sorry, greenwichct.gov.
.gov.
Yeah,
Fair
That's
enough.
right. Someone told me that the other day. That it's
greenwichct.gov.
greenwichct.gov. So all of the information for any of the concert series are there. And Don, have you lived here your whole life?
Almost.
Almost. Me too, almost. I think I was 1 when I moved here.
I got you both.
Yeah, you do. Born in Greenwich Hospital, I was
one
not.
thing to remember, too, about fireworks, certainly Binney Park, there is no park pass required. Anybody is welcome from anywhere. There's nobody checking IDs. But regular admission rules will apply at Greenwich Point Park.
So what if I have my beach card, my husband's beach card, but I want to bring 2 friends and my kids?
You put them in the you put under a blanket in the back of the car.
You would have to, and there's information on this on the
website.
On the website. If you go greenwichct.gov/webtrack, WEBTRAC,
Okay.
You should be able to get some information and be able, if you are a Greenwich resident and have a park pass, to be able to buy some online tickets for guest tickets or guest, because everybody needs a park pass or a
guest pass.
Guest pass up until a certain time, but vehicles still need to have.
So you don't recommend hiding guests under blankets in the car?
Probably not.
Okay, just checking.
Oh, and by the way, no dogs at all at Greenwich Point.
I know. They'll be sad to miss it, but dogs don't particularly like fireworks.
We don't encourage dogs to come to any fire because they don't like it.
They really don't like it. My dog is terrified. Most dogs are terrified.
It's very traumatic to the dog. So please, you're doing your family friend, your family member, a big favor.
Leave them at home and turn on some music so that they don't get spooked by the fire. We always leave the music on and turn it up a bit so that it's not it's not too loud, but that she doesn't hear all of the fireworks. They do get really spooked.
We lost a dog for the night.
We lost a dog for good one night because of fireworks. Poor thing was. But, cycle of life. She was old. She was taken by a coyote.
And by the way, GreenwichCT.org goes to GreenwichCT.gov.
It does.
It does. It's an automatic choice.
It is. Okay.
Yes.
Good. But now officially it is
We like you to go to GreenwichCT.com.
Yeah. Right.
So.
Well, we don't have this information yet on the .com,
right.
but
we'll get it up next.
But you can get online ticket sales, and there's also some in-person ticket sales for guest passes only on Wednesdays and Thursdays from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m., which means I guess they're open right now as we're talking, or until sold out for the day. That's at the Coscob Dockmaster office on Strickland Road.
Okay, that's good to know.
But be sure to, and at Greenwich Point Park, they now have some information sheets on the Greenwich Point fireworks that they'll be giving you at the gatehouse. If you ask, they should be giving them out somewhat anyway, but ask for an information sheet. That'll give you some more information on all of the logistics of what we've got to do and some of the rules and regulations. We always say, leave the fireworks to the experts.
Yes, please.
You'll hear that from Chief Heavey,
Chief of the fire department,
Chief
of the police
chief, Chief McHugh with the fire department, or anybody at Parks and Rec. Seriously, we don't allow any sparklers or any of that kind of stuff. Any of those.
No sparklers?
That's what the rules say.
Okay.
You could do it at your home, but leave the fireworks.
But is a sparkler a firework?
I mean, it could light things on fire.
So could a match.
You know what? We're concerned. It's a safety situation. Don't forget, when you get to these fireworks displays, you're wall-to-wall people.
Right.
Fair.
Right. Very fair.
And that's a part of it.
Can I add in one more thing? That be kind to your British friends on 4th of July.
Okay.
It's a tough day. I've got a couple. I call them every year just to make sure they're okay.
That's nice of you. Very nice. Yeah. Something I wouldn't have
They
thought
don't
of,
seem to think it's nice of me, but be kind to your British friends.
We shouldn't hold grudges, right?
I'm not. I want to make sure they're okay.
Negative energy is not worth holding.
I'm sending positive energy to them.
Yes.
Binney Park, there's no grills areas to set up. So there's no cooking at Binney Park. You can bring refreshments. There'll be some vendors there. But Greenwich Point, same thing. Cooking only at the town grills in the designated picnic areas.
Okay.
And no glassware within 200 feet of the beach. We have so many people there. We really try to be very conscious of the safety rules.
Well, there's nothing worse than stepping on glass in the sand.
That's right.
So please just don't bring glass to
and
the
the
beach.
concession stands,
everyone knows that.
The concession stands are both up and running, right?
Yes, they'll be closed during the actual shooting of the show, but they'll be open beforehand, and they'll be, I'm sure, very busy.
Yes.
That's their big day, among others.
Oh, yeah. Stock up on popsicles.
And everything else.
Yeah, they actually have great food and snacks at the concession stands.
Yeah.
They do a great job. All right. Well, Don, thank you so much for being here today, for taking the time to talk to us and educate us about the fireworks and the summer concert series. I think all of this is very relevant and interesting for the people in our community to know.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. And helpful, too, because it's better to be informed. And as we say, come early.
Yes. Come early.
Early. Be patient. Bring a flashlight.
Be patient. Be kind.
But
everyone's just looking to have a good time.
Well, we try to make it that way as best we can, but we have some limitations in what we have.
Yeah, exactly. Well,
make it as nice as we can, but it's.
Thank you also again to the town, the fire department, the police department Greenwich Emergency Medical Services, the DPW, because every one of those organizations takes part in helping bring this together. So
and our parks crews too.
And our parks crews. Larry
set up. They're out
and
there.
his team.
Larry,
I love it.
But Jonathan Fasone and his crew at Binney Park, they're all out there helping to make sure that it's set up and as much support needed, cleaned up. Okay, keep it up with the garbage and all that stuff.
Yes, please.
Leave no trace.
Leave no trace.
Thank you.
Smokey the Bear said that.
I think he did.
Oh, thanks, Don. Have a great summer.
Have a good summer, Don.
Scott, Lindsay, thank you very much. Kate, thank you for having me.
Thank you.